Hello, everyone. I am Randy Suarez, aka Silva today, back here another amazing reaction. And Jubilee, I I personally don't know what brought this on, but you need to really consider who you put on when it comes to making an actual debate. But anyway, we're here to react to the first time on the channel, Watch TV, and his thoughts on the whole thing with the Jubilee, with the 21 progressive versus 20 far right video. And let's just say that video, for an hour and 14 minutes of their debate, went so off the rails that it's not even funny. One of them got fired. Like, literally, one of the guy who claimed himself as a fascist got fired. But I digress. But we're here to see what the homie Watt's thoughts on this. So if you like any of this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to Watts TV. I will leave the original link to this video down below so you can watch it uninterrupted. Also, link to my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow me on those social platforms. A link to the Discord, I will leave that link down below. Come join the Crow's Nest and come chat amongst yourselves. Drop in interaction, requests, and all that good stuff. Anyway, also link to my Cashapp. Feel gracious enough to donate whatever you want to donate. It's fine. Don't. That's fine as well. Something super things. But by donating, like, subscribe, sharing all the good stuff, I show you support. It lets me know you rock with the reaction content. Rock with the channel. Rock with your boy. But further ado, buckle up and let's get started. Alright, we here. The first time on this channel, Watch TV, and we're going to see his thoughts about this whole Jubilee thing. And I already gave him my personal thought. I think they lost the plot. I'm basically tying down the video. I think Jubilee lost the plot somewhere. So anyway, I digress. See, that sigh is like, I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. I recognize the sigh. This stuff is some things I do.
I honestly don't even know what to say about Jubilee anymore.
Brother, you don't have to explain about common stuff like that in general, because at the end of the day, it's the reason why I don't subscribe to their channel. Only time I ever anything that deals with Jubilee is with other reactors like Abir and Preach and Watch TV and Omizi and a lot of other. Things do get out of hand, but it should never got this out of hand. But it has.
I really don't. I don't. For those of you that do not know, recently Jubilee posted a video that is entitled "One Progressive versus 20 Far-Right Conservatives" featuring Mehdi Hassan. And guys, to say that the video was an absolute show, that would be a complete understatement. And let me just say this. A lot of the individuals within this video are not far-right conservatives. They are much more than that. One guy...
They're a lot worse, the best way I can put that. And I know I have friends that are conservatives. Same thing with that are left, because I'm neither. I bluntly tell them, hey man, when it comes to this crazy argument, that's between y'all, not me. But anyway, I digress. But stuff like this, like, there's some people, there are other conservatives. I normally don't go into politics when it comes to this channel, but this is like, when it comes to this type of BSery, the best way I can put this, it makes your head tilt, because you know it makes sense. Don't make any sense. They know it doesn't make any sense, but they try to pretend that it makes sense to them. See, it's insane.
I even proudly claimed to be a fascist. And that's who we are going to be talking about today, guys. Sorry, I don't even think I said his name. His name is Connor, and not only is Connor a fascist, but it is also quite clear that he is actually a deplorable human being. And honestly, I don't think that you should talk like this, you should act like this, especially when you look like this. If mayonnaise became sentient and discovered Discord, yeah, it would be Connor. This man looks like a goddamn Chick-fil-A manager with a manifesto in his glove box.
Damn.
I have never seen anyone that actually had the facial structure of a melted wax figure with a goddamn superiority complex.
Damn.
And what the hell is going on with his hair? Is his hair sponsored by YouTube conspiracies? This man has a haircut that absolutely screams, I read Mein Kampf instead of a goddamn job application. I promise you that joke is going to make sense later in this video. Let's go back to his hair. I guess his barber hates democracy too.
Damn.
Connor looks like if Ben Shapiro in a goddamn jar of Miracle Whip had a disappointing son.
Damn. You need a hug, man? You look like you need a hug. Damn. Holy oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, someone give Watts a hug. Somebody. God damn. Oh my. He's. And the thing is, it's nothing really personally new, but this is like the level of, what's the word for it? Disappointed. Like, they don't do no background checks, no searching, like Jubilee. Like I said, I think Jubilee has lost the plot somewhere. I mean, a lot of people have lost the plot, but the thing is, I don't know, man.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna start making these roast sessions more of a thing because some people truly deserve them, especially people like Connor. Before I go any further into this video, I want to remind you guys to please do not forget to share, like, and subscribe. It really helps out with the channel. Lets me know that you are rocking with the content. And while you're at it, please do me a favor and join the Discord. I'll leave the links in the description down below, as well as the link to my Twitch at twitch.tv/Watts_TV94. And also make sure that you subscribe to the gaming channel. I'll also leave that in the link in the description down below. All right, let's just talk about Jubilee really quick.
Please do.
I know I briefly said that this was a show, but I don't even think that accurately describes how terrible and how scary this video is. Like I said before,
it makes you question their decision to bring people like-minded like this on to give them a platform. It makes zero sense when they do, and they wonder why the fingers are pointing at them. You brought them on there. No background checks or nothing. You just brought them on there. And you think, oh, it's the point that they should know this was going to be bad. And they're shocked that they thought it wasn't going to be bad. It's very much telling.
It was literally called One Progressive versus 20 Far-Right Conservatives. These people were not far-right conservatives. They went all the way right and then fell off the goddamn political spectrum. I really don't know why Jubilee feels the need to platform these people. I know what you guys are going to say. Oh, it's important to hear different perspectives, but fascism? That's the perspective that you want to hear. Do you guys even know what fascism actually is? Fascism is a far-right political ideology that promotes a strong authoritarian government, extreme nationalism, and the suppression of opposition. Often,
to give you an example, the mustache man, very fascist. Anything that deals with a lot of war, exploding, a lot of other things, and basically because you hate a certain race or ethnic group of people, and you loudly and proudly say it, fascist.
using violence, censorship, and propaganda. It rejects democracy and individual freedoms in favor of total control by a dictator or ruling elite. So,
and the point that one of them, and which he most likely gonna go into this, said that what the mustache man wasn't all that bad. Okay, so what the mustache man did, he said it wasn't that bad. Have you read? It's like you have not read the history books and actually talked to some people like, hey man, they have museums about stuff like this. Go look at the museum. Go look.
Yes, people like the mustache man,
Bingo.
He was a fascist. He literally fits this definition like perfectly, like a goddamn puzzle. I find it even more disturbing when this guy Connor openly said that he was a fascist. All of the conservatives in the room just, oh my God, yes, we don't like democracy. We don't. We love dictatorships. Yes. Since the when did this happen? When were people on the far right of the political spectrum? When were you guys okay with fascism? When did this happen? Where was I? Where have I been?
people let a lot of things slide. I don't care if you're left or right. Stuff shouldn't slide like this. I don't care. It's due to the fact that if you're going to claim yourself as a certain part of a party in general, learn the difference. I said multiple times on this channel, there's the difference between speaking sense and speaking noise. Claiming something that you are and knowing that exactly that you're not, but you're trying to be something much worse, but you think you're doing better, get a serious reality check, my dude. Because if you don't claim something, at least look up the definition for it. Please.
Since when is this an okay thing? It's just crazy because I feel like during past presidencies, if you were to claim that you were a fascist, everybody would get on your ass collectively. But now we're applauding it? What the f is going on? You know what? Some of you may not like to hear this, but this is a true reflection of our current administration. It is. And I'm sorry, you guys know that I hate to be political, but this was so crazy, I just knew I had to talk about it. And this blew up on social media. And that guy, Connor, apparently he got fired from his job. And he started a GoFundMe to raise money, which is insane because people don't even know if he actually had a job in the first place. They just agree with his crazy ass ideals, and a bunch of racist white people decided to donate to him. But before we dive any deeper into his GoFundMe, let's watch this clip first because he recently showed up on a podcast and he had some things to say. And don't worry, guys, I'm not going to watch.
Of course he has some things to say. People who normally, say something that's very out of pocket, knowing that they had to dealing with the consequences from that, always have something to say. But it's never an apology. Even if it is, it's always a half-ass apology.
This entire 5-minute clip because I can't. But without further ado, let's get into it.
You don't care being called a Nazi?
I didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
What about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews.
See, you can tell when people have not, one, paid attention in school, two, have not even picked up or probably forgotten they need to refresh on certain things when it comes to history, and three, knowing the fact that they need to understand the definition of what they're talking about. Like, some people need, quoting from Jim Jeffries, some people need to know what a thesaurus is, and some people literally need to pick up a fucking book. We have phones. You can look stuff up, the definition of what they are, instead of trying to look up corn, okay? Jesus.
I think that there was a little bit of...
Because you have to understand how bad things were. You actually have people who survived stuff like this, people who fought that type of war and stuff like this, explain, this is bad. This is really bad. And yet you hear Connor over here saying, oh, it ain't that bad. Oh, well, it wasn't that bad back then. It was really bad. People like that need to get that in their thick skull. Like, seriously.
Persecution.
To say there was a little bit of persecution from the Nazis against the Jews is actually batshit crazy. A little? When the hell did we get to the point in society?
They persecute and offed millions. They reached a deficit of millions of victims. But to say as little is like, bro, you clearly don't know.
Where we look at something like the Holocaust and we say, oh, the Nazis, they didn't even murder that many Jewish people. It wasn't even that bad. So what is going on? A little bit?
You don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews.
I think that there was a little bit of persecution.
I'm reading the show because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what did I say?
I think you say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Look.
The point that they clap is what truly pisses me off a bit. due to the fact that they probably don't know that definition as well, and they still clap anyway because, hey, he's one of us. By clapping, and that insinuating that he's one of y'all, you're also including. They don't know that, hey, he's basically calling themselves a fascist as well. Now, I may not have said it, but them acknowledging it by clapping, while Connor over here basically said, yeah, I am. Like, what? Again, I think, I've been saying most people, regardless of left or right, feel like they lost the plot somewhere. But giving them a platform in general, Jubilee, I think you also lost the plot.
How many people are clapping? Look how many fucking people are smiling and clapping. This is nothing to. This is not fucking funny. This is not funny. When did this become okay? If that was the most grotesque, evil laugh that I have ever heard before in my life.
Smiling now. So when I saw that man, I was confused. I was like, I think that guy's. Is he trying to get fired? Because I know today that almost every job, every sector has been inundated with this DEI bullshit. And
because you cannot keep saying everything what you think of on the internet, because it will get out regardless. That's why you have to stay positive. I understand people want to believe what they want to believe, and that's understandable to a certain extent. But if I'm saying stuff like this, knowing the fact that in history people who have that type of ideal always fucking failed, and yet you want to spread this type of hatred, it's gonna catch up with you whether you like it or not.
They allow you to believe anything? Ooh!
Yeah.
What does being a fascist have to do with DEI? What the f are you talking about? Fascism literally thrives on hate and division. Yes! And not only that, it crushes individuality. Something that we treasure and something that we love here in America. Or so I thought. And name me one goddamn fascist regime that ended peacefully.
None of them ended peacefully. Like, none of them. They always end up in despair afterwards, because they always end up getting their comeuppance. Literally. Again, some people need to pick up a history book or something. We have phones. You can look all that stuff up. Nope.
They always end in suffering. It literally destroys everything that makes a fair and free society worth living in. So I can't. My mind, guys, am I stupid? Like, am I tripping? I'm just trying to connect the dots of what the. This has nothing to do with being woke. America was not built on fascism, and it should not be built on fascism. So what does being, talking about DEI or being woke have to do with this? What are you talking about?
Anything you want, except for things that are stringently right-wing, Christian, or heterosexual.
Who the is this idiot? Guys, I'm not gonna get through this clip. After I hear the Nazi talk, we are cutting this off. I cannot. That was the dumbest I've ever heard before in my life. Since when is fascism right-wing, Christian, and heterosexual? This is f***ing news to me. God, am I stupid? What is going on? There's no way some of you guys really agree with some of the dumb came out of his mouth. I don't even know who he is, but he is slow.
Orthodoxy. And you are in some serious trouble in your personal life over this, am I right?
That is correct.
What happened?
Well, unfortunately, I lost my job as a result, and no one really is to blame for that. It's just...
We have no proof that he actually lost his job, by the way, but continue.
It's the culture that kind of exists, currently surrounding the manner in which you're canceled for voicing exactly what you said, any heterosexual, Christian...
Here's the thing. You did not just say all that. No. That's not what you said. None of that. What he said, very unchristian-like. And ironically, the party that he represented, very unlike them too. Because there is a difference between hate. and also speaking ignorant. I think he's speaking ignorant than just simply just hate. But it could be both, to me, because if it's both, you in it for a rude awakening. Like, people like him just always feel like they just either speaking ignorance and hate, and just simply just speaking out of their butt. And it's sad, really, because at the end of the day, they really do believe this, or they're just they saying what they want to hear just to get a rise out of people, and that's also a very bad thing to do.
Sort of moral belief that goes beyond sort of the secularism and the relativism that we're so used to.
This is so disgusting and disingenuous. Are you kidding me? This is so disingenuous. These are not normal far right ideologies.
No.
I know some people that are actual conservatives.
Same.
They would not agree with this bull. This is not normal Christian heterosexual conservative ideology. This is not normal. For our society within America, within the United States, this is very much abnormal.
And so that's what I set out to do with Mehdi. He asked me, oh, well, do you condemn the Holocaust? It's like, well, of course I condemn persecution of anyone, Jews included.
You paused. No, you did not. You paused and you said there was a little bit of persecution there. A little bit. Okay.
I'm a Catholic. I don't believe in persecuting anyone. But I'm not going to play your game of let's reference the Holocaust. Because
also, you cannot say I don't want to.
You don't want to play the game, but that is literally an example of what stuff that happened in the past. This is not a game.
Persecute anyone, but then claim that you're a fascist. That doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't.
That's a loaded question. What you're trying to do there is you're trying to insinuate that worldview is going to lead to genocide, chaos, and destruction.
Because it always
does.
It always does.
It always does. Because with that type of negativity and hate, it will always end in disaster for the person who caused it. Is there a reason why there's a saying every action is a opposite or equal reaction? It's the reason why there's sayings after that matches that saying. Because at the end of the day, you can't be doing all of this and expect nothing bad to happen. Something always going to happen. Whether you like it or not.
Fascism always leads to all of that. It always does. There has never... I don't know why I keep repeating myself. I'm sorry.
But as you said, we see so many regimes where that's exactly the opposite. I mean, look at what's going on in El Salvador right now. The streets are clean.
El Salvador? What? Okay. You know what? I am going to tell you what you tell a lot of the immigrants that live here within this country. If you love it so much, then go over there. Go to El Salvador. Since you think it's so clean and it's so peaceful, go ahead. Fuck around and find out. El Salvador? Wow.
It is a paradise in Central America. And really South
paradise.
America from that perspective. They went from being one of the most dangerous countries with MS-13 to one of the safest and cleanest countries, all because they had, a centralized police force, government willing to enforce the law and willing to actually lay down a moral structure to their society, not being scared of what, journalists or other fogies like to say.
But you got fired from a legitimate job that provided well because of your political views that are not illegal. How does that make you feel?
Frankly, kind of destroyed.
And this is one a lot of people the First Amendment. Look, man, I'm all for people's amendment rights in general, all of it. But you also have to remember when it comes to the First Amendment, you're not free from consequences. Yes, it's not illegal, but you're not free from consequences of your actions, verbally or non-verbally.
I put a lot of pride in the work that I do. I try to treat everyone with a level of respect and love and decency. And many might say, "Oh, you say that, but you're actually this evil guy behind closed doors." No, I'm a guy who is looking at our society being torn apart by just kind of the lack of rule of law, the lack of meaning in people's lives. Frankly, let's just get to the heart of the lack of God in people's lives. And I say enough at this point. I mean, why is it that we have to live in a society where people are killing themselves, they're addicted to drugs,
all right,
they are looking for all...
I'm done. I'm so done. Okay. Wow. First off, most employers today, mine included, have some sort of like morality clause. Meaning that if your job finds that whatever the hell that you are saying, if they find that whatever the hell that you're saying on the internet is immoral, then yeah, they can fire your dumb ass, stupid. And what you have been saying is very much immoral.
Yes.
What?
And you expect them to take up for you. That's not how that works, sir. It's not.
Why the hell would I have somebody work for me that claims to be a fascist, that to openly claim that they are a fascist? Someone that said they would prefer that this country only be run by white people for white people. Why would I want somebody like that attached to my business? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, they're gonna get rid of your dumb ass. Also,
because just like with what I'm about to say, probably most likely it will ruin their business. Two, it will ruin their reputation of having someone like him on due to the fact that he's spewing out hatred and ignorance, or both.
That you're not evil, you claim that you're a nice guy. Word. Huh. Who is this? Who is this throwing up the mustache man salute? Who is this?
He's far from nice.
He is a literal freaking Nazi. But you want to say that you're a good person? No, I say this from time to time when it comes to some of the content that I react to, but I am actually at a loss here. All right, let's look at the GoFundMe page. Let's read it. Let's see what it says, and let's see who's been donating to good old Connor. So far, this man has actually raised $36,000.
Jesus, hold on. And I think if I remember correctly, it has went up more since this video dropped. But yeah. And look at this comment. God bless brother. Like, seriously, like, bro. Anonymous giver. Hey, you donated to a fascist, man. You might as well give it your name so we know who to avoid.
Dollars. The title is...
Alright, let's go. We got more comments. Oh. I'm not going to read that one.
Fired for my political beliefs. My name is Connor, and I was recently shown in the last Jubilee episode. As a result, unfortunately, I was subsequently released from my job. I'm raising money as an emergency fund and for other expenses while I look for a new job. You're not getting a new job, bud.
Not.
Unfortunately, voicing fully legal, traditional right-wing political views results in real...
You're not... I said it a moment ago. You're not exempt for consequences of what you say. Negatively, like, seriously.
Consequences. These are not traditional right-wing political views. This is cancel culture and political discrimination. That is wild. On full display. I just went on the Rift TV where I shared my story of what happened. You can watch it here. I will be guesting on a podcast tomorrow. Blah, 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 blah. Look at this. God bless.
Heart emojis, heart... And this anonymous giver even said, hold on, let's go back to, say, this comment said, God bless God bless, we will win, white men need to stand together. There's another anonymous giver said, only white men can get fired for speaking their opinion. No, a lot of other people in different, no matter what race, can also get fired for speaking their opinion, sir. Or madam, whatever, whoever you are, anonymous giver. Man, this is like, oh.
We will win. White men need to stand together. Only white men get fired for speaking their opinion. Jesus Christ. First Amendment forever. That doesn't even fucking make any sense. The dude said he's a fascist.
For real.
You cannot have it both ways, man. You can't. You can't
have your cake
you
and
just
eat it
can't. Miserable leftists whine and cry fascism will attempt to ruin the life of anyone who disagrees with them. We didn't cry it. He said it. He said it. He literally said it. Do you guys know how many times I've seen this comment, Christ is King? Guys, I got the method. I got the method. All I have to do is say something extremely outlandish like Connor here. Claim that I got fired for my job, for my political beliefs. And you guys will give me money because all of you are stupid. These people are actually mentally fucked. It's so amazing to me because, again, you guys don't even know if this guy actually got fired. In my opinion, this seems like the new right-wing political grift in order to get money. And you know what, Jubilee? Let's have a conversation, bro. Let's have a conversation. You need...
Like I said, with Jubilee, and before he goes in on Jubilee too, I said it multiple times already in this video. I think they lost the plot. I think a lot of people have lost the plot, but as a person, as a platform for this, I guess for platforms in general, you lost the plot when it brings people like him on. And you expect not to have consequences for that too. They're gonna look at other people are gonna look at you some type of way. People who works for Jubilee and everything, they're gonna look at you, at the company Jubilee some type of way.
You stop platforming people like this because people will come on your platform and they'll say some crazy that goes against everything that our country stands for, and then they make a goddamn GoFundMe, get loads and loads of money, and then they end up on some sort of racist ass podcast where they can continue to spread this evil goddamn rhetoric.
Yep.
This is crazy. The title of that video is just false. It is entirely misleading. This is not 20 far right conservatives. In Jubilee, if you guys truly thought that this conversation was going to go a different way, then that is telling me that you did not properly vet these people. Do a better job, guys. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below.
Alright. But yeah, like I said, I personally think Jubilee just lost the plot somewhere. Again, like I said, I've been saying this multiple times already. The point that they didn't do no background checks or anything, no social media checks, nothing. Jubilee, I may be a small channel, but I try to be a good person. You know? This is utter bullshit, and you know it. And that's the sad thing about that. But shout outs to Watts TV. I know this probably was a video was hard to get through. It was hard for me, and to be honest, it's one of those things that I'm with you, brother. I'm very disappointed in Jubilee, and this is. Ugh. But anyway, I digress. If you like any of this content, please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to Watts TV. I will leave the original link to this video down below so you can watch it uninterrupted. Until next time, please take care of yourself. Stay hydrated, stay safe, stay warm. Peace out.
And little questions is everything they know about